Hi. Today, I'm going to tell you a story about a successful couple who've got four amazing kids that were all successful in their own fields. Valentin and Ivy are uncle and aunts of mine. They've got four kids. And the first one is Vikas Rosario, who's one of the top astrophysicists in the world and is teaching as a professor right now at Edinburgh University. Their second daughter, Aishwarya, did her MBBS from Belgaum and did a postgraduate from UK, and now she's a doctor in UK. The third, who's a son, is right now an assistant director for education, probably at 35 years old, one of the youngest ones, in Georgetown University. And the youngest, Urmila Rosario, is the operations manager and the head of the women's cricket team of Australia, one of the most successful women's team in the history of this world. I asked them, I've got three kids and I'm a parent. So I asked them, tell me, what did you do to have kids who are successful in their own fields? When I asked them this, they were had not given it much thought. And after thinking for a while, they said, we've done many things, but I would think with things that we did consistently are these three things. The first, they said, is that no matter what day it was, every evenings, after work, after school, we used to get together and we would have our teas, coffees, dinner, and we would discuss anything under the sun. From the books we've read, the problems at work, the problems at school, the challenges the family faced, anything and everything was discussed, was seen from a different perspective. And there was a lot of support for each other's problems or each other's challenges and so on. I remember when I was in Qatar, I used to spend time with them on Fridays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and we would discuss for hours on topics. And we would see each other's points of view. We would end our discussions with a common phrase, and we would say, we agree to disagree. And that is how everybody would hold their ground, and everybody would put their points forward, but they would learn from each other. The second thing they did consistently, now, Vikas was a very good student, but Urmila, Uday, or even Aishwarya were good academically, but not excellent academically, but they were good in other things. Both these parents wanted their children to have an education from a great university, a great degree. So what they did consistently was, no matter how small it was, they celebrated their children's success. It could be in academically, in whatever they did. They celebrated they didn't go for big parties, they didn't throw big gifts or buy big gifts. They celebrated in the smallest way possible. The reason for this was they focused on their children's strength, never focused on their weaknesses. So that is the second thing they did consistently. The third thing they said is that they trusted their kids immensely. There was an incident when Uday was a teenager, had gone to Egypt and pretty much lost all his bags, his money, his wallet, I think even his passport. And the incident looks really funny inside when he tells his story. But as a parent, when I look at it, to trust their kid to go through it, and even when they're in so much trouble, to support them, is immense trust. But when I spoke to Ivy and Valentine, they said, we trusted our kids, but we always checked on them. This reminds me of a phrase of which Ronald Reagan used to always say, trust but verify. And that's what they did with their kids. They always kept a check on them to ensure that they were not straying to the wrong side. The three things, they look very, very, very simple. One is to spend time with your children, to know them, to understand them, to give them your values, and make them realize that you are in these challenges as a family together. The second thing is to celebrate their smallest successes. Look at their strengths rather than their weaknesses. And finally, to trust them, but to verify, to ensure that they're not treading on the wrong path. At CFAL, we do PTMs. And when the parent-teacher meetings come, I tell them that the role for the success of our children or the success of the students, we see in successes, depends on three things. Of course, the student. But along with the student, the teacher is also very important and the parent is also very important. Sometimes the parents don't realize their role and how important it is. Every successful student I have seen a very strong parent behind them. Now, what is the role of a parent? Now, from the story I've told you about Ivy and Valentine, it's very clear to be encouraging, to be supportive. If you got certain values, you are very organized, you are very disciplined, you get up in the morning, you make sure that things are ready for the family and so on. But your children are getting up at 7, 8, 9, or your children are sleeping late in the night and you're the one who goes to bed early in the night. You should realize that you're not passing on your habits that have made you successful to your children. That is one of the key roles of a parent. The second thing you have to realize is that we live in a very digital world. If you see any top CEO or any, like for example, even Sundar Pichai, for example, he doesn't give a cell phone or a smartphone to his kid. Even his TV has got access control. It's the same goes with Steve Jobs, Bill Gates. Now, Tim Cook, if you look at, is one of the top CEOs of in the world right now, and he's leading Apple. And he says that, and he says in his speech to MIT, he says it very clearly, technology or internet can be really enabler. But what he has seen is that it's misused. Tim Cook is the CEO of Apple. He's one of the, if you see where Apple has grown, it has grown significantly after Tim Cook has taken over. In his graduation speech to MIT, he says that, internet can be a great enabler. But he says that it is also a place where basic decency is lacking. He says it is where triviality is encouraged. And he says where negativity thrives. I don't think we want our kids where negativity thrives, where triviality is encouraged, or where, for example, basic decency is missing. This is a place where our kids should never be, and that's the place called social media. At CFAL, we have seen several students thrive, and I have also seen several students that have got great potential not thriving. And I don't know the real reasons behind it, but one of the reasons that I've seen commonly is because parents are pushing their dreams onto their children. We have, as parents and as grown-ups, we have some unfulfilled dreams. We have unfulfilled needs. They should not be fulfilled through our children. Our goal, is to ensure that children become their best. Children reach their full potential. Children reach the success in their area of interest, not in our area of interest. So to ensure that our children are successful, we have to become successful parents. I have to become a successful parent. I'm on this quest. I've got 3 kids, and I want my children to be successful, to be able to reach their full potential and be their best in their area of interest. And for that, I have to become a great parent. And for that, I am going to go and interview parents to learn from them. And I'm going to share this quest with you in the videos to come. Thank you.